Robert, and you're watching Backyard Bodyworks. Hey guys, Robert here, and you're watching Backyard Bodyworks. It is Friday, October the 18th, and we have finished up the floors and the inner and outer sills and the strengthener, and everything's on, looks good. I'm very pleased with the repair. So we are moving on to the rear quarter panel. And I've inspected the wheel arch, the rear arch looks fine. It doesn't look like there's any rotten metal in there. So the part that I think the repair for this rear quarter is going to be along this lower drip edge, where there's a finisher piece that goes along this, and that thing was completely rotten. There wasn't anything left of that, and it's rusted out along the bottom edge here. There's some holes back here, and there's some questionable areas along the bottom of this. I've got a repair piece in case I want to use it. A few minor dents here. There's a dent here, and there's some Bondo there, but the metal itself is in pretty good shape. So let's go ahead and clean this up, and let's see what we get, and then we will move on from there. Thanks for stopping by the shop. Follow us along. All right, I have marked out a red line of demarcation, or we will not cut any higher than that red line. All of our cutting is going to be below that. So I am going to start by making a cut and just cutting out the bottom part of this rust, just to see what we've got, see what's behind this. I'm expecting it not to be very pretty. I'm expecting it to be very ugly. Very ugly. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna cut out a little square or a little area just to see what we got, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do from there. We will be very careful not to go beyond what we need to go beyond. It is as I thought it would be. There is a fair amount of rust behind here. A lot of pitting, a lot of holes. It also corresponds into other pieces. I'm going to think about what I need to do, if I'm going to replace just one piece at a time, or go ahead and order parts and replace everything at once and do the whole back end of the car. I mean, most of the metal the rusted pieces is right along this bottom edge, like in the first, say, 1.5 inches, maybe 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters. I mean, the metal feels strong. It's got parts that just are not. We'll look and see, and we'll do some research, and we'll figure out what we need to do. So we will be back here tomorrow, Saturday. So y'all take care till then, and thanks for stopping by the shop. Bye. Hey everybody. It is Sunday, October the 20th. We are back out in the shop for a little while this afternoon. We're going to be working down here in this lower section, cleaning it up. I'm going to remove a little bit more metal and to open up this space a little bit so that I can see. We've got a line down here that I consider that it's the line of, you do not cross this line. because that is the furthest point of metal removal that the panel covers. So I do not want to cut. I can cut up to it or close to it, but I do not want to cut past it. I'm probably going to take it about halfway and kind of look so we can get better access to this inner panel. There would probably some school of thought to just removing the outer skin and putting a new skin on, but I don't see any reason to do that simply because the skin's in good shape. You know, I don't have any problems up in here, and the only problem is down here. But I do have a problem on that inner strengthener piece, the bulkhead piece that's behind this. I do want to inspect it some to see what all's got to be replaced and decide whether I want to order, you know, that inner strengthener or just make something. I'll probably end up just making something that, you know, looks similar. If not, I've seen several other folks out there make similar pieces inside there and then just welding them in, and they look fine. But not only is there that inner strengthener, there's some stuff that's going on inside the trunk well and the rear valance down here, that there's a rotten spot, probably, you know, where the bolts go through for, I guess it's one of the supports for the rear bumper bracket. That whole area around that is pretty much rotten, and you know, you can see the ground through there, and no, not just through the bolt holes. There's actually some, you know, missing metal around that's extremely weak, and after running over it with a wire brush, you know, the metal just disintegrated and made the holes bigger. So we'll probably end up replacing that whole corner. It's probably a size about yay big to the tip of my fingers that needs to be replaced back there. So, and it should be an easier repair, as far as it's just a flat piece with a I would say looks like a little depression for the bumper bracket. So to reproduce that should be a fairly easy task. Of course, with this car, nothing has been a fairly easy task. It has been challenging, to say the least, but that's fine. I'm up to the challenge. Tally-ho. So, let's go ahead and get started with removing some more of this, doing some more inspecting of this and cleaning this inner piece up, and then we'll probably make some CAD pieces, cardboard aided design pieces, to help when I go to cut out the metal for that particular piece. So, thanks for stopping by the shop. Let's go ahead and get started, and we will continue on with this repair, and hopefully we will find the solutions as they present themselves. Guys, I was thinking about something, and I was looking at this piece here, and I'm noticing that, you know, this metal is pretty good. And when I say pretty good, it doesn't have any, you know, it's just got surface rust on the backside, which I'll take care of with some of that rust preventer after, you know, I've cleaned it up and whatnot. But I was noticing this hole for the bumper isn't in this piece. And what I was thinking, that's why I was looking at it, was when I go to replace this, instead of cutting it straight across and trying to, you know, match the hole up, I was thinking that maybe I would cut this square out and leave it as a reference point, and do the same thing on here so that I can just, now granted it's going to make me have to weld and weld down, weld across, and weld back up. But I think that it would behoove me to leave this as a reference versus to try and make the hole in this piece. I'm looking to try and get better access to this inner wing panel. And it looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's just got surface rust all over it. The only real minor problems, of course, are along the bottom where we've had all our other issues. Is we've got rust and we've got holes all through here, and big ones down through here, and some little ones down here. So what we'll probably end up doing is I'll make a CAD piece, not a cod piece, a CAD piece. There's a difference between O and A. Cod piece versus CAD, plus parts of the body. So a CAD piece, cardboard aided design, of this shape, which is, it's like a little triangle here, and then it comes down and then back up into the rear, up inside where the wheel well is. And probably, and keeping these holes, because they're in pretty good shape. I don't see any damage really above a finger's width, above this little sill part here. But there's the piece on the other side of this that I was talking about earlier, where the bracket is that holds that goes up into this back piece for the bumper to bolt into. I said there's a piece about this big that needs to be replaced that actually butts up against here. So I'm thinking that I will probably do this piece and that piece at the same time. Maybe not, I don't know, maybe I'll do that side on the inside first while I've got this piece in here so I don't ruin any lines. It's just something that I'm gonna consider. It's one of those, stop for a moment, use your head, think about it, analyze it, and come up with a solution. I will also defer to one of my go-to people and ask a question, see if I get an answer back. Let's continue on, and we'll get this repair done. I am going to go inside. I need to go look up some parts and see how much they are going to cost and what all. I'm getting into a repair that bleeds into another repair, which bleeds into another repair. So I want to make sure that we do this all at once. So I'm going to go see how much it's going to cost for the rear valance and another piece over here in the quarter panel for this other side, because my plan originally was to replace the rear valance, but it looks like I'm going to have to cut on the rear valance, so I want to make sure that the rear valance is within my price range at this time in order to and if it is, I'll probably just leave it and go ahead and continue my repairs, and then when I go to replace the rear valance I will do that. So let me go get a price list real quick, and then we'll continue on cleaning this up. All right, guys. Rear valance isn't that expensive, probably about 135 bucks. So I will probably go ahead and replace it because this one's in bad shape. I mean, it's got rust all along the bottom, and I would rather have something that's has a little bit more integrity than this does. Whoever repaired it before me, and they didn't really treat the rust, so it's just going to keep coming back, and I don't want it to come back. So I would end up having to cut out a good portion of the rear valance anyway to get rid of the rust and the rotten metal. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. And I'm going to do this whole rear end repair at once. But I'm probably not going to buy all the parts at once. I'll talk it over with my beloved and see what she says. She'll probably encourage me to buy it all at once. That way I'm only paying shipping once. So let's continue to work and get it cleaned up. And I'm going to remove some of the valance, but not all of it, just to give me some access to this corner over here. And then I think we might, it just depends, we might move on to other parts of the car. Because it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I still have tomorrow to work, so I'm not like in any hurry. and I don't want to get in a hurry. So let's go ahead and continue on, and we will reassess here in a little bit as to see, you know, where we are. So we got the lower part of the rear valance out. I mean, there's all sorts of holes and rotten spots, and it just looks really gross. But I don't think I'm going to need to replace the whole floor, because it looks like it's just this piece here. You know, this piece here that runs along the back edge. I mean, everything else on the floor seems to be good. This is where we're going to have to start thinking about a few things. I've got good access. I've got good access to here, so I'm thinking what I'm going to end up doing is making this bracket first. I'm not going to put it in because I've got to work on this inner strengthener for the wing. I got to figure out something for that. I think what we'll probably end up doing is making the pieces that we need. We'll make the CAD pieces first, and we will mark them out on the cardboard. We'll fit the cardboard how we want it and trim it up the way we want it to look on this piece, as well as this piece and this piece. And I'm thinking probably we'll move into that rear quarter too. I think what I might end up doing is lowering the car, pushing it out and turning it around, and since we're going to start working on the left side of the car, have the left side facing in towards the center of the shop. I don't know, I'm just thinking. If you guys see smoke, that's the wood burning as I'm thinking. And I'm thinking, see that inner rear quarter panel doesn't look bad through there, but I guarantee you, along this bottom edge where all that rust is right there, all these deep pits all through here, that is going to be rotten to the core. And I don't mean Johnny Rotten either, or Robbie Rotten, or whatever his name is. See things from Lenny's perspective. Oh, he just gave me the finger. Back at you, Lenny. Do your job. He hates when I call him short. For those of you that don't know who Lenny is a garden gnome that joined the shop a couple of months back as shop foreman. Tries to keep me in line. So you'll see him from time to time supervising, you know, just kind of watching over the project. That's pretty cool, you know, when you get a different perspective on things, how your thoughts change. All right, so I think we got a plan of attack as far as this is concerned. So I think that we will, tomorrow, I think what we're gonna do, well, that's only 4 o'clock. I could start making the CAD pieces now. All right, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're just gonna start making the CAD pieces. We're not gonna cut anything out, simply because of the fact that I don't really know how it's going to go back in, and I really don't want to cut it out without a plan of going back in. So I've got an idea in my head, and of course, you know, as I've always said, plans change, and they're subject to change at any time without warning based on the situation. But I think the plan what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my CAD pieces, and that should help me formulate a plan as to, you know, what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and get to that. All right, guys, I'm gonna break it in for today. I'm a little hungry, and my wife's got a Sunday afternoon roast. Cooking, she wants me to cook on the grill. So I am going to go do that. As much as I like working on the car, I like eating too, so. But anyway, I got all the CAD pieces cut out, and this is gonna be for this side here. It's got a very similar cutout. I'm not gonna necessarily cut out that much of it, simply because I've got all these complex pressings that I would have to recreate, which I probably could do, but I'm just not, I don't know if I want to do that or not. Plus, now we've got the trunk floor, this rear piece, I've got it all marked out, and I've got the place where the bumper bracket that we cut out because it's all rotten goes, and I'll cut this metal piece off, this strengthener piece, I guess is what it would be, clean it up, and put it on that. After we get the rear valance in, actually I'm not real sure yet. I will probably use this as a guide once I get this in, and I'll take the bracket and hook it up here and see where the holes fall, and then I'll drill the holes for the bracket, and then we'll put the bracket on. Sounds like a plan. All right, so that's going to be it for today, I think, and we will see you guys, I guess, tomorrow. Tomorrow's a work day, so we'll be out here for just a little bit, doing some, just general cleaning, and then we'll be back here on Thursday after tomorrow. So I will see you guys in a couple of days, or tomorrow. Hey guys, that's going to conclude this video. We appreciate you guys stopping by to check up on us. I'm sorry it's taking so long to put out videos, but as we know, this is the season of holidays and festivities, so it's kind of hard to find time to come out here and work, especially when you don't have the parts to do what you need to do. We haven't done any welding yet, so that'll come a little bit later once we have all the parts and we can fit everything together. Also, what I've been doing in the shop is I have been working. I had an old surveillance camera that didn't have a network plug because it had gotten corroded while it was outside, so I brought it inside. Finally found the pin designations for the plug and the camera as to what wires do what, and so I put a new network plug on it, tested it, and it works really good. I really like the picture that it produces, so it should be in the next couple of weeks you start noticing when I'm out in the shop, the live feed will be on. So thanks for stopping by the shop. You guys are super awesome, and we appreciate your support that you give the channel. We are up to 54 people now. I can't believe that there's 54 people that like to stop by and check up on our progress. If you're new to the channel, by all means, like and subscribe, binge watch, and see the transformation that this car has made over the last several months. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to get notified every time that we upload a video, either on this project or any of the other projects that we're doing around the shop, hit the notification bell, and that will alert you every time that we upload a video. Thanks so much for your support. I hope that you have a blessed day. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and we will see you guys next video. Keep it shiny. Bye.